Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for being here, by the way. This is very enlightening. During the Obama administration, a legacy sign-on service called login.gov was provided by the General Services Administration Technology Transformation Services to help people access accounts with government agencies ranging from the IRS to Social Security Administration. The login.gov website states it is, quote, the public's one account and password for the government, end quote. Following a March 2023 GSA OIG report, bipartisan scrutiny of the website program has been renewed. The GSA OIG report found, again, quote, GSA misled their customer agencies when GSA failed to communicate login.gov's known non-compliance with the National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 800-63-3 Digital Identity Guidelines, specifically Identity Assurance Level 2. It further states that, once again, quote, GSA continued to mislead customer agencies even after GSA suspended efforts to meet SP 800-63-3. These agencies charged over $10 million for cybersecurity services that weren't even provided in the first place. This is incredibly concerning for me as somebody who basically is responsible for these taxpayer dollars and its lack of security that they're applied. Were you aware of this report?
I am aware of this report, yes.
Okay. Just to kind of add, and I'm going to set up the question for you just so you can knock it out of the park, if you will. When it comes to digital identity proofing, what does NIST Identity Assurance Level 2 compliance mean in combating identity theft, and why would Biden administration want a government-driven product like login.gov to achieve that particular standard to the extent that it would even mislead other federal agencies about having those capabilities? In other words, we're spending a lot of money, we don't have the cybersecurity it's promised, and it's a one site serves all. That's worrisome to me when it comes to securing people's identity, which we're all concerned about, and we don't even have something, a fail-safe that's working right now.
So NIST does produce digital identity guidelines, and you're right. We have IAL2 compliance is what you're referring to, or the IAL2, the Identity Assurance Guideline. We have recently also updated that. We don't audit other agencies, and I really can't speak to the GSA issue, but I will say that we have recently updated our guidelines, and that's available for, and has broad uptake by the community as well.
Okay, guidelines, got it. The IAL2 standard has been referred to as, once again, quote, not just a compliance requirement. In the world of remote identity proofing, it is a line between a system that can fend off bulk identity theft attacks coming from an organized criminals and one that cannot, end quote. Despite the troubling findings of the OIG report, the White House reportedly still wants to move forward on mandating the use of login.gov through executive order at all federal agencies. It's already mandated at the VA through va.gov, which once again alarms me if we don't have the proper, you can have guidelines, but if you don't have the actual security and it's mandated, you can understand how this would be very concerning to any veteran or anybody else who wants to use these websites. How does NIST play into that? Besides guidelines, is there any true, are you hammering this home with people, that this is a real concern for people's identity that's being required by a government to use?
So our role is to produce these guidelines, and we don't do the compliance piece. But we produce the important information that people need to know in order to secure their systems. And they are publicly available and used.
Thank you. I'm just going to give you one more chance to comment on this because I think this is important to hammer home because this affects a lot of Americans, anybody who wants to use the Gov site. What is GSA's misrepresentation of the login.gov's IAL2 capabilities mean for veterans and their dependents trying to access sign-in services to verify their identity? Since you're the expert, I'll let you have the final word.
I'm sorry, I appreciate the question, but I cannot comment on that, but thank you.
With that, I yield.
Thank you.